Good evening, or should I say good morning? I'm very tired, but I knew it was important to come here and discuss with you these things that I have been studying. And one of those things that I've been studying is Mary Magdalene. And many believe she was to be the wife of Jesus. However, Luke describes her as a sinful woman. And it is stated how there were 7 demons that were taken out of Mary. Also known as a spiritual sickness. Some say it was a mental illness. And I found a few places that broke down the 7. And when I found these for the first time, I had cried because I had identified so significantly amongst them. And I recall in the space where I had found them had notified how it wasn't just the mothers who were injured, but also the uncles, the brothers, the fathers, the sons, etc. So the first demon was how you are to await on others to the point of not knowing who you are, thus not taking care of the self. Number 2, you are inferior to nature. And it's also stated where this is also where women are unclean because they bleed and secrete fluids. The third one was how she had inferior intellect and must be rolled over. And the other one, number 4, is not an image of God. Number 5 is that no one would believe her testimony and that her testimony was flawed and basically that she can't trust herself. The 6th one was that her body was a temptation and women must be covered up and that men use and abuse them. And the 7th one was how she was unworthy unless she bare child. Now it also went on to state like how to clean up these acts or how Jesus had helped Mary through them. And if anyone actually knows the scriptures and could actually educate me and show me more proficiently on these aspects of this religion, I would love to know. So it's supposedly a part of the divine humanity. And how these were all deep emotional wounds. So in order to fix, you must take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. Number 2, the blood of life comes from your body, ladies. Every time that you bleed, that's you letting a life go, right? You had the eggs to produce. Now the 3rd is to use your mind to learn and spread the gospel or the holy things that are good, to only speak kindly to each other, to be gentle in our words. Number 4, you are an image of God in an intimate way, right? 5, trust yourself. And it goes on to mention because that she had known Jesus and she knew how to be like a good human, that she had grown to be able to trust herself in the moves that she was making and what was the right and appropriate best thing to do for any man even woman. Number 6 was how Jesus said, men must respect you the way I do. And 7 is to use your gifts to create beauty in the world, such as like what women are good at, or like that have been known in cultural times to do, such as writing and music and gardening and new life and giving birth to children and giving birth to things like poetry, art, or I like to talk about the things that you leave with us here when your body is no longer. It's like kind of like your legacy. Some people have kids, some people build like architect or like pass down knowledge and information. It's like that. So I thought all of those things were really fascinating about Mary, because I couldn't help but feel like, wow, me too. And I feel like there's a lot of dudes, or men, whichever you prefer in your language, but they too had those boundaries crossed. And the soul needs that eternal rest. I'm soaking in Epsom salt, attempting to alleviate the pains and aches of my body. Sometimes it can be painful being a woman because you feel like, wow, like, is that part of me bad? Do I have to hide? Am I okay? Do I have to turn into a soldier on you? Soak in the floor, soak in the floor. Yeah, I'm still meditating over all of those aspects. And I've been trying to find more and more data on Mary Magdalene, but it's like, it seems like it's so constrained information. And like, it seems like she's becoming more and more popular, so it might be a reason why they're making new content so much on this Mary, so that the truth gets buried, because the older the context, it's like Kindle, the burning of the books, eliminating those things. So I'm procrastinating the job of shaving. That's the problem of being a girl. People expect you to shave. And yeah, I've been procrastinating that. It's that thing again, your body is bad unless this or that. You must please everybody else. I actually enjoy shaving. Very much so. Much like I love cleansing. Salt baths. Oh. A nice rice. Now, don't expect me to match or anything. Do I have mask face? I know mask face. Maybe like right here. Yeah. Mask face. ASMR. XYZ, and dive signals, social cues, AEIOU. Can you believe me? I'm using my toe, monkey toe. Don't drop it. Get your toe cramp. Get the cheetah. Mask face. so many questions that nobody can answer. So I have to do my own work and come to my own conclusions. Make sure to floss your teeth more. I wish I had done that more. Take better care of yourself. No one else is going to. Magic tricks. It's time to get this hair clean. All the memories of my demons are kept and locked in my locks. Sometimes it's hard to hear what people say because I'm so lost and deep in my misery and my suffering and my own stories that I have heard and known and come to be a part of. I'm working on it, I'm working on it. I just thought about this art that I made that I could show you. Hush, 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 hush. I can already feel your energy like all up on me. And not like the good kind. You may think that it's good because it feels good, but you're just addicted to, this makes me feel good. I need more. But you have an opportunity to change with each breath. You know, our bodies don't always have to be so sexualized. We should recognize and understand that we are all born in our birthday suits. And it shouldn't be horrendous or inappropriate for these natural human things to be so hush-hush and not educational. It's kind of terrifying when you live in a society like that where they're like condemning and attacking women for like feeding their babies, or just like even like, you know, where like boys can take off their tops but girls can't. Like some states, I heard it's legal. It's not that big of a deal. Other places there's like a lot of rules. So, something else that I adore is like getting my hair professionally washed and groomed. It's like one of my favorite things. And this has become like one of my new favorite bathing suits officially. But yeah, there's like a lot of judgments and like negative, or should I say unwanted predator energies, right? Did I give permission for you? Did you even ask? Or is that what made you feel better, that you have the ability? I'm like, well, you might just have seen the brand name of that, so this video is Garbo. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Cause it's not just all about the money and the system. It's more about being authentically you and not being afraid who's watching and simply still being you and being happy to be that person that is so commonly known as you. Next time, decorate. It's a little too much. Is it? I don't know. I kind of like it, kind of don't like it. I don't know. Oh, the job of this. Who wants to do this for me? Gently. Rules and regulations. Conditioning. Women meant to feel guilty for just like being natural. Like, what's the difference if I was wearing a bathing suit, like a regular one, it shows the same amount of skin. Like, I know, it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure. It seems like it's more on one side than the other. Maybe if I could like, like in other countries, nudity isn't so like shamed, and like kids are kind of taught to kind of like just appreciate their bodies no matter what they look like. And I feel like where I live, like everybody's obsessed with magazines and like what this person on this social media or on this or there, what they're doing.
I don't know, I'm conflicted. Like, part of me really likes it and thinks that it's like a cute top, which is why it was invested in. But then another part of me is like, is it safe to wear that, like, outside? You know? I mean, again, like, you go to the beach and you wear the bathing suits, and sometimes bathing suits are tinier than this. But how about you leave in the comments what you think, especially girls. Especially girls commentary. I need, like, a women's circle, especially people and women who have been through what I have. Or even maybe, like, dudes who have been through what I have that resonate. I just feel like I shouldn't have to, like, feel like I have to hide or, like, only show up to here. You know what I mean? So all that messes with your head. Imagine how, like, superstars who do, like, that eroticism professionally, like, what is going through their minds and what their boundaries are. And what they have done. And I'm not saying that, like, our desire for human intimacy is necessarily horrendous or a bad thing. You know, none of us would exist without it. And that Mary thing really shakes me up because, like, why do women have big hips and big upper halves? To feed children and to bear a child, right? So therefore, when those aspects are, like, attractive, it's because people know that she's fertile. Just when a guy is physically fit, like, he's ready for survival and taking on, like, family. I recognize where sexual abuse can lead to hypersexuality and, like, subconscious, harmful situations that tend to repeat themselves. I also notice those with post-traumatic stress disorder tend to relive their trauma, like, by recreating the traumatic situation. Like, let's say they had a girlfriend who always did this or that, and therefore they keep picking a person that always does the same things instead of recognizing the pattern. Thought I broke it. I just can't help but notice there's, like, almost like an expectation of people to just suppress their emotions and forget what their abusers had done to them, for them to just get over it. Like, everyone's like, everybody has had bad things happen to them. But I think there should be more compassion for all of mankind and more gentleness towards the women and men, especially of our future generations. What do you think happens to the children when they're taught that they have to hide or else? Especially the little girls told not to wear a dress or not to do this. Imagine what that would do to you. Let me show you this piece of art before the telephone dies. You are the love you have been seeking. I should have wrote the word all. But yeah, looks like my hair's done, so I'm gonna have to get on to the final project of bathing. I appreciate you listening and being loving towards my thoughts and helpful towards my journey. I see there are many of you who have been contributing to the investment of my future and of me continuing to be myself without conditions, limitations, and being my authentic self. I will be making many writings on Instagram, so make sure to check those out. You can also reach out to me personally through my email at wewanttrina@aol.com for bookings and for inquiries about readings or any questions you may have. Slowly but surely. Right now I'm mainly focused on my health and getting better with my lymphatic system and getting in touch with my personal breathing and my own personal healing. And yes, the breath work and yoga, all those things have been most helpful. So I'll do my best to continue doing those things without conditions of who's watching or what's going on. So that could be most enjoyable. Well, it's about that time, I think, as stated before. Look, when we're done. Should have gotten all the conditioner out now. Hope you enjoy that transformation, all these truths. Enjoy your process. Go slow. Bye, for real.